Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Haley. I'm super duper excited that you decided to click on this video and check out my channel. If you're new, make sure to subscribe down below and hit the bell. Also check me out on my social medias shown right here. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and supporting me once again. Rising or now currently, because we're in the summer, high school juniors. First off, you're gonna have to do that right now before you start junior year and right after you finish junior year. Trust me, because junior year, it's a time. It's a time. Let's just say that. Junior year is a time. I can't even speak because it's that much of a time. Like junior year, there's so much that you have to think about, so much that you have to do, so much you have to consider. It's just so much. It's like overwhelming at times. And so that's why I said, take a deep breath. The day will come and you will feel overwhelmed and you will feel like, oh my gosh, how am I going to make it another school day after today? Like how? But you will, and you will get through the end, and it will be summertime and you will be officially a senior and you will be able to breathe again. Listen up, please, because I'm going to tell you how you're going to get through it. First piece of advice I have is, because how overwhelming, how stressful, how much is expected of you junior year, learn and find your me time. I mean it. I'm not kidding. Find your me time. Like if you were the person, and I can admit I was this person, I really didn't do anything for like myself, like to unplug or unwind from like my academic mind or like my mental state. I literally just kept going. And I guess I developed my me time through being more social, which was something I personally wanted to work on. I spent more time with my friends. I guess that was like my me time, but really, you really just need to have time for yourself. Like not like nobody, just doing things that like hobbies, things you're interested in, things you're passionate about, like literally find your outlet. So junior year, if you can start learning how to do this, how to figure out what your me time looks like, again, you will be so much ahead of the game, and I cannot stress that advice anymore. Continuing on, you will need to learn how to do your homework, which this is something you can learn freshman year, but really junior year, because it, like, you take some of the hardest courses you are going to take. Like, it is a proven fact, you are going to take all of high school your junior year. No, it's like junior year, all hard courses. That's literally how it goes. It is crazy, it's mind-blowing, and you have to learn how to be organized. You have to learn how to have strategies. You have to learn how to conquer and how to come back on top at the end of the year. That's what junior year is. Like I was saying before, you have to learn how to study, which is something I've been telling the rising freshmen, obviously. You need to learn that then and start mastering it. So when you come to junior year, you already know how you learn. You already know how you study. But a new adjustment I'm going to add on to that is try to do your homework the day or as soon as it's given, honestly. So I know there's a lot of people, especially if you have like an A-B, like a block schedule, you might like get homework on your A day and you might not do it till like the evening of your B day because it's due the next day. I suggest, and this is just me, some people it doesn't work for them, but for me, I feel like this made me a lot less stressed when it came to my homework, is when you get your A day homework that evening, that night, when you get home, or whenever you're like, you get home from whatever you have to do that homework. At least start on the homework. Because let's say you have a test next class and you, for some reason, you have a lot going on or whatever, and you're like, I'm just going to study it the class period before. Well, if you wait till basically the night before, because you're waiting till the B day, the next day is ending, you're in essence cramming, and that doesn't really do much good. And if you do it the day it's given, at least you get 2 days rather than 1 to really study. Because let's say you start studying, you study like half of it the day it was given, and then you study the other half the next day. Like you feel a little bit more relief and more flexibility that I don't have to get it done tonight. Like it has to get done tonight. Like I have to stay up and get it done tonight. You feel like, okay, I'll get as much as I can today, and then whatever I don't, I have to finish tomorrow. Like it's a lot more of a relief, I feel like. And maybe that's just personally my opinion on it. But I definitely highly suggest that you kind of look into that method, even if it's not studying for things. Just hold up, guys. Sorry, guys, that was my sister. She got home from school, and as I was saying, do your homework as soon as you get it. like if it's feasible, if it's possible for you to do that, I suggest that. I feel like that's the times when I felt the most relief, less stress, as I was saying before. If you have the opportunity to, you have it in your schedule and you feel comfortable with doing this, if you're taking a lot of like harder courses, like I took 3 advanced placement courses, which for some that's not a lot, for others that's like, whoa, you lost your mind. I did it. It was something. I mean, I'm not going to say that it was like a breeze or like I walk in the park, but like I got through it my junior year. And I feel like what helped me keep myself okay was definitely having a study hall, which allowed me to get a lot of those routine homework assignments, like reading the textbook, all those kind of things done in that like hour and a half. And then I was able to get more sleep. My family literally said they saw me more. Like, I feel like it really did help. I did have a semester study hall my sophomore year, which is when I first kind of learned how much I could utilize it. And I got year-long my junior year when I got more advanced placement. So if you have the opportunity, you have the room in your schedule, definitely check out getting possibly a study hall. It doesn't have to be year-long. It could be just a semester if you're concerned with not having credits and all that. Get a study hall. And if you do, I would say don't just like waste it really, like just play games, whatever. Like, do something. It could be something as simple as every night for one of your courses you have to read like a chapter, like a sub-chapter. Just do that during the study hall, and then you can play it. Like, use it to some degree, because otherwise, like, what was the point of you really getting it if you're not, like, if you're just gonna like play or whatever. Like, the point of it is so you don't, at least for me, you don't have to like do a whole bunch of homework later on, that you can just kind of get it done and it'll be done. So definitely, if you get it, use it wisely, whatever that means for you. But for me, that means, you know, getting as much out of it as you can. So I would highly suggest that. And lastly, my tip for you guys as juniors to be is to make sure that you're going to go ahead and schedule and book college tours. So I suggest that you start doing this the fall of your junior year. I didn't start until the spring of my junior year. Yeah, like towards like spring break and like the summer between my junior and senior year. And if I could go back, I would definitely have started in the fall, just because for me, I was touring places in South Carolina, North Carolina, and it's hot in the spring and summer. I definitely suggest that you during the fall, especially if you're touring places in the South, is a little bit cooler. You're able to see the students, I feel like, in action, compared to like if you go on like a spring break or like a summer break where you have to kind of like imagine like what students would be looking like or how they would interact on the campus. So I feel like just going in the fall is just the thing to do. So make sure that you are definitely considering that, trying to go ahead and book. That's why I told you sophomores to make sure to go ahead and start virtually touring those places, to figure out by the time you are a junior where you want to actually go and physically tour. And I will be having towards the end of the summer a whole nother video kind of talking about the do's and don'ts of touring, just things you should look for when you go to tour college physically. Make sure to look out for that video. And also gonna have a whole college app process video, kind of go more in depth of what my process looked like, things I learned throughout the process, just to help this upcoming class of 2020. And then also another thing, junior year, you're probably taking maybe the PSAT, might be taking it again, and I suggest highly that you start taking the ACT and SAT. If you can start in the fall, that's great, but definitely by the spring of your junior year, you want to have taken at least one, if not two, and then that way your senior year, you might be taking one or two, depending on how high you want your score. Me personally, I took one in the spring of my junior year and then one in the fall of my senior year, and I just knew that was the score I'm going to have, and I was okay with that, and so I didn't take it more than that. And I took the ACT twice. I never took the SAT, and I just realized the ACT from taking the practice test was just the test that was more easier for me to learn, like how to like master, how to like take after taking the practice test. So I decided to take it twice, but some people take one and the other and they learn after that, or they take them both and then just, you know, whatever. You again learn, you figure out which test is for you and you go after that. You just run after that test. So make sure that you are definitely taking advantage of that opportunity as well. So I hope that information that I just shared with you is super duper helpful. Always feel free to comment down below or DM me on my Instagram if you have any questions or any advice. Always open, always feel free to do that. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Bye guys.